So the 49ers are making another transaction. They traded Jordan Mason to the Minnesota Vikings. He's signing a 2-year contract worth up to 12 mil, over $7 million guaranteed. The Vikings are sending a 6th round and a 5th round pick in exchange for a 6th round pick and Jordan Mason. Pretty good deal for the Vikings, man. Pretty good deal. Dude is a monster. He showed that a year ago when McCaffrey was out. He totally stepped up. Yeah, he got banged up and his production kind of went down at one point, but when he's healthy, when he's full go, when he's full throttle, dude is a monster. I kind of wish my team went out and got him. They need a running back right now, the Broncos, but hey, fair play to the Vikings. They're super active this free agency period. And I'm excited to see what they have in store, man. They also brought back Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, that is a great 1-2 punch. They still also have Ty Chandler under contract. So pretty good running back room for the Minnesota Vikings going into 2025. I definitely think it's an upgrade over what they had a year ago. So if you're a Vikings fan, talk to me. Hard not to get pumped up after this offseason so far. And as far as the 49ers, man, again, another real questionable move in my opinion. I really think they traded the wrong RB here, man. And I know maybe that's a bit of a hot take for the majority of NFL fans and whatnot, but I really would have moved off of McCaffrey because they traded Jordan Mason not based on what he has to offer on the field, but it's purely financial. They're just trying to make as much room as they can for Brock Purdy. So I don't know why they didn't trade McCaffrey. I just think Jordan Mason has a lot more years, good years left in the NFL compared to McCaffrey. I've talked about this many times before, and I'm going to keep talking about it until people actually understand. McCaffrey's done. Like, yeah, he could come back in 2025 and have a few good games here and there, but the 2023-2022 All-Pro Offensive Player of the Year, McCaffrey, he's long and gone, bro. Suffered 2 really big injuries a year ago. I mean, tendonitis in your Achilles, that's no joke. And then suffered that injury out in Buffalo when they try to push him back. I mean, come on, man. Like, the Kyle Shanahan offense just is meant to wear out the running backs. There's no way McCaffrey can get 20 touches a game every single game in 2025. There's no way. And Jordan Mason was a good backup. I just don't like this move at all. But Niners fans, talk to me. How do you feel? I mean, I feel like I would be hard-pressed to find an optimistic Niners fan going into this year. I mean, the team, I can't remember a team that has had this much turnover in one offseason before. I mean, I'm sure there's absolutely teams that have made this many transactions, but it's just, I feel like it's kind of rare to see this much turnover. But yeah, essentially Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are putting all their chips in the table and betting the house on Brock Purdy. So, I mean, if you were an owner and you owned the Niners right now, would you bet everything on Brock Purdy? Would any NFL franchise do that? It's just super questionable, like what the Niners are doing right now. Like, you don't have to pay Brock Purdy. Like, I just don't think they realize that that's an option. Like, guys, you don't have to pay Brock Purdy. You could have just kept this team together, and you could have signed Sam Darnold to a cheaper deal, or you could have maybe gotten Aaron Rodgers for a year. Again, a significantly cheaper deal than what you're going to pay Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is probably going to make $60 million a year. So, like, I mean, man, it's just crazy to me, man. And not to say the Niners had an elite roster a year ago. Yeah, that defense definitely didn't look as good as they looked in years past, but I mean, if you think the defense is going to be good in 2025, you're tripping. I mean, to play devil's advocate for a moment, okay, they're bringing back Robert Saleh. that'll definitely be a bit of a boost. But unless they have like a spectacular draft, how can they be a better defense than what they were a year ago? And like I just said, they weren't already a good unit in 2024. So the defense is going to be worse. No solid backup to McCaffrey right now. You got to rely on Ayuk, Kittle, and Demarcus Robinson. I don't know. I mean, maybe it could work if everybody stays healthy and, you know, McCaffrey gets like a bionic leg in the next 2 months. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't see the silver lining here at all. But maybe I'm being too negative. You let me know if you agree with me or not. As far as the Vikings, man, instead of paying Sam Darnold, they definitely spent all that extra money on free agents. Harrison Smith is also returning for his 14th year in Minnesota. Dude's been a beast his entire career. Great leader on that team. Obviously not in his prime anymore, but still, to have a good locker room guy, never a bad thing. And as far as on the Vikings investing in the trenches, in their O-line, their D-line, definitely the move. I think that defense is going to be a lot better than what it was in 2024. And the first half of 2024, that defense was a top 5 unit. So another continuity year with Brian Flores, I think it's really going to do the Vikings wonders. And, you know, they bolstered that O-line up. We'll see if it works out well. It's probably looking like they're going to go with J.J. McCarthy here unless they make a last-minute call to Aaron Rodgers. I would love to see that. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that would be super entertaining, and I think that would be good for J.J. McCarthy as well. I'm sure he may not agree with that, but I think another year to sit and redshirt is a good thing. Because, bro, like, okay, he's played one preseason game, and, you know, he suffered that that knee injury, and then that knee injury got worse, and then he had to go and get another surgery to get it fixed up. I don't know the exact details, but I'm just saying, dude has played one preseason game, and after that, he was out for the year. So, if I'm a Vikings fan, if I'm in their front office, I'm just saying another year to redshirt and see if JJ can stay healthy for a year or just throughout the preseason isn't a bad thing. I just think it's pretty risky to go with him for this year, but then again, like, in Kevin O'Connell we trust, but I don't know. I just think if I'm the Vikings, I'd go for Aaron Rodgers. You know, at least we know he's good for it to a certain extent, obviously past his prime, but still. And hypothetically, if Aaron Rodgers isn't, you know, Aaron Rodgers of 2024, throw in JJ McCarthy, or if Aaron gets hurt, which is definitely a possibility because he's been hurt a lot over his career, throw in JJ McCarthy. But to only have JJ McCarthy as your QB going into 2025, I don't know, man. I don't really like that. That makes me kind of feel uncomfortable if I'm a Vikings fan. But you let me know how you feel about all the moves the Vikings have made this past offseason, and do you think they're going to be a threat again in the NFC? Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2 hands on the football and has the catch.
Well, the quarterback has such great confidence in the receiver, and why not? He's talented, and every time the football's thrown his way, he finds a way to make the catch.
To the ground. The Jets get a first down.
Good job that time by the offense. They pick up a first down inside the 20-yard line. Now we'll see if they can punch it in and get 7 points.
This will probably be the last play before the 2-minute warning. And Jones in on the tackle. And we've reached the 2-minute warning in this one. And now returning to the field, just 2 minutes to go, and it's a big spot as we've got an offense that would love to increase that lead before the intermission. And Morris is brought down after picking up just a yard.
When you get third and goal, a lot of times it just comes down to who's willing to fight the hardest. We'll find out here in a second.
Third and goal at the 3. And the catch by Alfred Morris. The Dolphins are going to burn the first of their 3 timeouts right here. Chip shot here. The kick is good.